Okay, today we continue with our Shabbos classes, laws of Shabbos. So today's class number 6, and we start with Chofetz Chaim, Lashon Hara, laws of derogatory speech, page 56, and it says relative statement, relative statements. Okay, certain statements are Lashon Hara when said regarding one person, yet perfectly acceptable when said regarding someone else. For example, to say that that businessman studies Torah 5 hours a day is obviously not derogatory. However, to say that a kollel member who is assumed to be spending the entire day in gross in a Torah study would be derogatory. So I think it's very straightforward. So it depends who are you talking about. So if it's a businessman, like from this example, so and he found time to study Torah for 5 hours. I mean, it's unbelievable achievement, right? But for the one who we expect to study, I don't know, maybe 8-10 hours, so it's not it's like he's stealing from a community, from whoever pays his expenses. You understand? So similarly, it would be forbidden to relate the amount of tzedakah given by the individual if that amount is considered respectable only for a man of lesser means. So, for example, somebody owns I don't know, like a huge jewelry business, and he gave $5 tzedakah. Right, so you would like to publicize about him about $5 would be very derogatory. But other guy who is not rich at all, so it's $5. It's a big deal for him. Right? So there may be factors which would prohibit relating such information, even when it is clearly complementary. For example, people who give charity generously often do not want the fact to become public knowledge. Okay, so even though it's not derogatory, so you want to say that this guy gave, let's say, $2,000 to this widow or for these orphans on one hand. On another hand, this guy does not want his name to be publicized because other people would come and ask him for tzedakah also. You understand? So in this case, it would be forbidden to say what he did for his sake. Okay. So we're going to learn the laws of Shabbos, as we said. So we go to chapter number 9. Baruch Hashem, chapter number 9. And so I know we have different pages, so I don't say which pages. So, but the title is a Kiddush, cup, and wines. Okay. Part number 1, the qualification of the cup. Number 1, the cup used for Kiddush should be intact. That is, without any cracks and holes. In addition, the rim must be whole, without the slightest chip or crack in it. If the base is slightly broken, the cup should not be used for Kiddush, even if the base can still support the cup, and cup is otherwise undamaged. So basically, here we learn one of the important things that we learn right from right here, that when you do mitzvah, it should be done in very respectful manner. Right? So this Kiddush cup, so you do a mitzvah of Kiddush, so it has to be whole, it has to be complete, not broken. Even though we're going to say if that's the only cup that he has, okay, what can he do, right? So number 2, if cup without defect is unobtainable, a damaged one may be used as long as it holds at least 3 VEs. We're going to explain what is it, of wine. If no cup at all, is available, one may recite Kiddush over the bottle of wine. He got stuck somewhere. I don't know where. So it's either a cup that holds 3 VE, right? Or he does it on the bottle. So these are smaller shot cups, right? It's 1 ounce are not going to work. Okay. Number 3, Kiddush cup is not clean, it must be washed. So we're going to learn if that it is very proper to rinse the Kiddush cup, and I think it's Zohar said that even if it's clean, it is still proper, like a Friday night. It was in your cabinet or the whole week. I mean, it's clean. Sure, it's clean, but still it's preferable to just at least rinse it with water. So in like respect that you're doing the mitzvah. Number 4. One should not use disposable cup for Kiddush. However, if nothing else is available, such a cup may be used. So basically, for example, if a person is going away somewhere for Shabbos, so he can plan all of these things, right? So whenever we go, or you used to go somewhere, we always had our original silver cup, not plastic, not this, not that. Silver cup. Okay.
Yeah, but do you think okay, so I live alone,
right?
Yes. Right now. But I was told that when you get married, the wife buys the Kiddush cup. Right?
Okay.
So I live alone. I didn't get myself a silver cup. I got a disposable cup because I figured when I get married, I was gonna buy a Kiddush cup.
Okay, Mizrat Hashem soon. Okay, all right.
So all right. That's okay though,
No,
right?
okay, because soon Bezrat Hashem is the situation is going to change. But for example, if person does not know when he's going to marry, maybe he's not has for sure somebody, right? So there's many bachelors. If he's never going to marry, he doesn't plan to marry, so now he's never going to buy cup.
I guess yes. You can never have too many cups.
No, at least so not first of all, not everybody can afford silver. I mean, even though it's not expensive, so he can buy a nice cup. Today, many nice cups like from metal, like very beautiful, or from ceramic, very nice cups are available. So it's not they're not cheap. I mean, reasonable. It's not.
No, stores they're way above silver.
Yeah. Okay. So number 2, the capacity of the cup. So that's very important. Number 1, Kiddush cup must contain at volume at least a revi'is of wine. If it holds less, the Kiddush is not valid. So that's straightforward halacha. So there is a minimum requirement of the cup. There are many halachic opinions regarding the amount of the revi'is. Some say it's 3.2 fluid ounces is sufficient, so which is very small, right? It's not a lot. According to HaGaon Harav Moshe Feinstein Zatzal, the amount necessary for Friday night Kiddush 4.42 fluid ounces, right? Okay, so and in parentheses it says see chapter 17 for a daytime revi'is. So what is the difference, you would ask, right? So revi'is is revi'is, right? So basically the difference is that Friday night Kiddush is a biblical obligation, and Saturday morning Kiddush is a rabbinical obligation. So in a case, since it is rabbinical, in the case of need, so if somebody cannot drink wine or doesn't have enough and stuff like that, so he can always rely on this more lenient opinion of 3.2. But on a Friday night, since it is a biblical, and if person has no problem drinking wine, right? So I go even more than I drink more than 4.4, right? So we go by 5.2, but it's not necessary. But most of the cups on the market when you buy, they're more than this amount, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, yeah. Okay. So continue. Number 2, the cup should be filled to the brim. Okay. If one has at least there is expression full cup. Okay. So not everybody. Me personally, I don't do it exactly to the brim. I do it a little less, but it still works. Okay. But that's he said up to the brim. If one has at least a revi'is of wine, but this is not sufficient to fill this cup, he may add foreign matter, right? For example, ice cubes, cube sugar, etc. to raise the value, the level of the wine to the brim. So if he has, for example, he has a bigger cup and not enough wine or this grape juice, so he can bring the volume up by these ice cubes. Okay.
If he doesn't have enough wine, like
yes. If
he doesn't have wine for at least a Friday night Kiddush, then he's gonna have a problem for Saturday. I don't know how he's
no. There is a solution for Saturday, but let's say he's trying to go by minimum of the minimum. Let's say, and he has exactly like 8 ounces. Let's say, just to round up, right? He has these 8 ounces, and he wants to do a Friday night Kiddush and Saturday morning Kiddush, and his cup holds, I don't know, 5.5, right, or 6 ounces. So basically, it's like the 3/4 full, right? So he wants to add some. So it's like it looks better when it's fuller. So as I said, there is expression full cup. Full cup means that there is a blessing in the house. When God forbid somebody have only half a cup because he cannot afford it, that's the problem. So we don't want to do any signs for problems. Okay. Okay, so continue in parentheses. He may also dilute the wine with up to a certain percentage. See chapter 13. So all of our wines are diluted with water. So it's not pure wine. It's not. So one must know somehow how much water he can add. So this beverage would consider it to be wine, even if it smells like wine, right? But it has to be like certain percentage of wine. Okay. So basically, the way I understand to the Kedem wines, for example, Kedem grape juice, they say that you can add 1/3, I think, or 25%, like to be on a safe side. And I saw their presentation maybe a few years ago. That's what they said. Okay. So continue. In event that this is not practical, he may still recite Kiddush provided the cup contains at least revius of wine. Okay. So basically, it's my suggestion. So for example, if a person does not like wine or he cannot drink wine for a medical reason, so do not buy a big cup. You understand? The smaller cup, first of all, you save a little money, and then second of all, you buy cup exactly what you need, and when you fill this cup, it's going to be like it's going to be look full. So don't buy this nice looking big cup and have it like half empty. Also not good. Okay. Part 3, the wine. Number 1, Kiddush must be recited over wine. Although it is preferable to use wine for Kiddush, grape juice is also permissible. So in most of the cases, grape juice is halachically considered to be wine. Okay, so it does not make any difference, but wine, of course, it's preferable. Right? Number 2, only wine whose bracha is borepricha gefen may be used for Kiddush. So what does it mean? So not all of the wines made, like even if it is called wine, does not mean there is enough grape wine. Right? I give you one example. That there is a company that called Manischewitz. I don't know if yeah. So and they for example, I give you one example. I like this wine. It's not healthy for sure. A lot of sugar. This peach wine. It's so delicious. It's unbelievable. Like it's but if you read what it says on the bottle, it says borepricha gefen. So the base of this wine, so the majority of this wine is actually grape wine, but they add some this peach taste. You understand? So and it could be opposite. It could be some other wines, and it says shechakol. So it's always if you're not sure if it does not say grape wine, So you have to check the label and see what it said, what bracha you should say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The label will say if it's grape, then you
say yes. Or yes, it says clear bracha. This is a Barepricha Geffen or Shechakol.
Oh, it'll say that on the label?
Yeah, on the label. Yes, on the label. I give you one example. My wife likes this, there's blackberry of this Manishev. It's also very not healthy, a lot of sugar, Baruch Hashem. But that wine is Shechakol. So,
okay.
So, I mean, two different tastes. And you would think that both of them are Barepricha Geffen? Absolutely not. Okay, so they say here clearly. So basically on that peach wine, so you can say Kiddush, even though it's preferable that it would be like smell with grapes, but technically there is no problem. Technically. Okay, number 3. It is a mitzvah to use red wine. If none is available, one should use the best type of wine in his possession. So if there is no red wine, I mean pink is also red, it is preferred white wine takes precedence over the red wine of lesser preference. So if
you have a higher quality white wine, it takes precedence over a lower quality red wine.
Yeah, so if he likes it better. But what our sages say, so okay, you like this white wine, so just add few drops or whatever needed this red wine. So and this your white wine is going to look a little reddish, pink. You understand? A little red wine is not going to spoil the taste. So it's also a solution to the problem.
So it's ideal to make over red wine and
yes.
Then okay, so but I could, well, okay, so but okay, so but it's okay. So at the same time, it's preferable to make the better quality wine.
No. What I'm saying, whatever you like. For example, I give you an example. We use cheaper wine, right? Like this Kedem wine, but it's not mevushal. And I think it's the best wine ever. I'm not this big specialist, but I like this wine, and I tasted others like at $20 and $30 and $50 a bottle, and for me it's it's a scam.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Complete scam. So we buy this.
The reason I ask is so I go to Shabbat to this family's house who lives not too far from me. They're also Baltimores.
Yeah.
They like red wine, but red wine sometimes gives a lot of heartburn. So what they do is they take out red wine, they make Kiddush on the red wine.
Yes.
And we'll drink whatever the first.
Exactly. That's it.
And then we'll take out the white bottle of wine and then drink that.
That's exactly the proper way.
That's the best.
What we learn now is the laws of Kiddush only.
Yeah. Okay.
So Kiddush we do exactly as they do on the red wine, and you continue with whatever you want. But
it's okay to pour a little bit of the red wine in the white wine if you want to make a Kiddush on the white wine. Exactly. Yes. Okay, but all right. So continue. Number 4. One who dislikes both wines and grape juice may use bread for a Friday night Kiddush. So it's like we're going to learn the procedure how to do Kiddush on a bread. So but basic ideas. So Hashem did not give us all of the commandments, all of the mitzvahs to suffer. You understand? So if for example, is somebody is diabetic, right, and he cannot drink wine or she cannot drink wine. So what is the point to force person to make wine, to make Kiddush on wine and suffer, right? There is no point. So there is always exceptions, but it's preferable. So do on red wine, and there are many red wines. As I told you, if you want to try this Kedem, I think it's in my opinion it's the best and cost fraction of what other wines cost. Okay, so yeah. It's a white wine, red wine.
Red. There are like so many, like they have 5 or 6 variety, and it's it costs like 1.5 liters costs $8.
Oh wow.
How can you go wrong with that? And it's fresh and it's nice and it's not strong. So okay, that's my preference. Okay, so part number 4, cooked wine. So I'm sure you've heard many times mevushal and not mevushal. Okay. Okay, so okay, preferably one should not use cooked wine for kiddush unless this wine is superior to the other wines which are available. One more time, preferably one should not use cooked wine. Cooked, it means mevushal. They usually write there in English, mevushal on the back when it says next to the kosher sign, or whatever the kosher sign, so that they say mevushal or not mevushal. So for me, the taste is cannot be like more apart. So we drink only non-mevushal, but there are problems if you have not Shomer Shabbos guests, or somebody have help, which is not Shomer, which not Jews. That's the problem. So let's see okay. So one more time, preferable not to do it for not cooked wine, and as I told you, it's not expensive, right? But if not, he can do it on cooked wine. Okay. Or if he preferred the taste better of cooked wine, whatever the situation is. Okay, so number 2, there is a dispute among the authorities regarding the degree of heat at which wine or grape juice is considered cooked. So cooked does not mean that it was bubbling. Like if you cook soup, for example, right? It should bubble. So it should be right, boil. But cooking in halachic sense is not boiling. It's not. Okay. The degree with wine and grape was considered cooked. According to Harav Moshe Feinstein, that's how it is 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Right. According to the Tzemeller Rav, that's how it's 212 degrees Fahrenheit. But the problem is when you just when you cook the wine, it changes the quality, right? So you you change the taste of wine also. Okay. All right. So continue. Part number 5, quality of wine. Number 1, when the prophet Melachi, chapter 1, admonishes the Jewish nation for offering a wounded, blind, or sick animal as a sacrifice to HaShem, and thus displaying the lack of respect, he said, "Would you then offer such an animal to your leader?" From this phrase, we learn that if something is unfit to offer to human patente, right? It is surely unfit for the use or performance of divine mitzvah. So basically, what it says here is people they offer to Hashem whatever they don't need. Whatever so the comparison of the Malachi, the prophet Malachi draws, like if somebody I don't know, a mayor of the city, maybe not our mayor of the city, but somebody respectful, big Rabbi Reuven is coming to your house, so you're not going prepare for him like some stinky wine that spoiled 7 weeks ago, right? So you're going to prepare some respectful wine that you will not be ashamed to present to him, right? Okay, so they say the same you have to do for Hashem. So the same, at least the same. Respect Hashem at least, and fear of Hashem at least as you fear of person, right? Like some dignitary. So if some goyish dignitary, if not, they're going to throw you into prison, right? Hence, any wine which has an unpleasant odor, right? Although it has still taste of wine, is disqualified for kiddush. So maybe it still tastes as wine, but does not smell good, so it's not good. However, if no other wine is available, it may be used. And it may be used one more time because it still tastes as wine. But if it's completely lost its taste as wine, so it's not wine, it's vinegar. Right? Wine that is left uncovered, wine that is left uncovered and unattended should preferably not used because it falls under category of the one that was not watched. However, it becomes disqualified for Kiddush only if it stood this way overnight, or its aroma or taste has degenerated. So we have Bezras HaShem. We're going to learn in the Kitzur. There is like spiritual danger. And that's the spiritual, it's physical danger. Some that if you left some beverage uncovered overnight. So and it says in all the days what was the danger? They say water or milk or wine. Why? Because maybe a snake drank from it. So it was very common to have snake. No, not common to have snake, but snakes would crawl like through the crevices and under the door or whatever into the house. So it was not uncommon to have snakes like in one's house, and they might drink from the water, from wine, from milk, from whatever was on a table uncovered, and they might leave some poison in the cup. So whatever stayed overnight uncovered, they say just spill it. Right? So at least if you're not going to spill it, don't do Kiddush on this. And especially if for sure it's going to lose some aroma and taste. So it's not going to be exactly the most respectful wine for Kiddush. Okay, continue. Number 6, right? Stam Yainom. Okay, so we're going to see what it means. It's for Stam Yanom. It's for non-Jewish wine. Stam Yanom is a term applied to wine prohibited by rabbinic decree, and is used to include the wine produced by non-Jews, and right. So if non-Jews, I mean the production of the wine is not that sophisticated, right? You collect the grapes, you squeeze them, and you put them to like for some time, and basically like simple wine is ready. You understand? So even if a non-Jew did everything clean, and let's say he didn't even in this vessels that were never used, it's like brand new. It's not like it was pig in there, so it's still forbidden by rabbinic decree. Why? Because we're going to see why. Okay, so they say wine produced by non-Jews and Jewish wine left in a jurisdiction of the non-Jews where there exists a possibility that non-Jew touched it. So basically, if non-Jew touch your wine, so it becomes unkosher. You understand? So that's why some people, they prefer to have only cooked wine, mivushal, if they have guests that sometimes they're not shomer Shabbos. So in this sense, this not shomer Shabbos person that considered to be a non-Jew, in this sense.
So, okay, so on my wedding, I'm going to have my family who's not religious.
Yes.
So
only mivushal wine, only mivushal. There is no question about it.
Right. So just cooked wine.
Yeah, only cooked wine. Yes.
Okay.
So it's. Thank you for asking this question. Thank you.
Can I get them uncooked wine if I don't drink from
it? Technically, you can, yes. But if, for example, I give you one example. So the problem would be if they all pour from one bottle, and it would be one person who is shomer Shabbos sitting at the table.
Right.
So
everybody at my family's table, there's no Shomer Shabbos.
But maybe somebody is going to maybe they are going to offer this wine to somebody from another table. Let's do l'chaim. Let's drink with us. So I would say don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. There is one prohibition in our Torah that do not put stumbling block before the blind.
Right.
And okay, so don't do it. Okay, but good question. So let's let's read this sentence again. So before we continue, so basically, so if for example, I give you one example. So you invited your family to your house, right? With your wife, Bezras HaShem, and you have non-cooked wine, for example. I that's what I prefer, and you keep it next to yourself, and then you pour from that bottle. So nobody touches it's next to your right hand, closer to you. So basically, everybody knows that that's a law in my house. At least nobody touches that bottle. That doesn't matter. The Shomer Shabbat, that doesn't matter. It's when it becomes your habit. So that's and it's a rule of your house.
Right.
Okay. So you can pour them this from this bottle. There is no problem.
Right.
The problem only if they touch it and they shake it. Not only touch it, but they touch the wine itself, literally with a finger, or they picked up the bottle and when it's open and they shake it. Okay, so okay. So let's do this sentence again. Okay, the stam yainam is a term applied to wine prohibited by rabbinic decree, and is used to include wine produced by a non-Jews and Jewish wine left in jurisdiction of the non-Jews when there is a possibility that non-Jew touched it. So I give you one example when there is no possibility. For example, you go to this non-Jewish wine store and it's sealed, right? So of course he did not touch it, right? But if it was open, so for example, as one person that I learned with, he told me he has this cleaning lady that comes like once a week to clean in the house, right? And of course she's not Jewish, so basically they told her not to bring any food from her house, and that she can eat whatever she wants from their refrigerator, wherever she wants.
Right.
And they have they understand 2 refrigerators, so they told her to eat from a meat, whatever the meat or part of refrigerator. Okay, no, there is no problem. So, but there is a wine in that refrigerator also. So he said, how do I know if she? How can we trust her not to take a little sip of wine? You understand? So of course they're not going to supervise her when she's eating, so she can eat, as they told her, you can eat whatever you want. So, but in that case, they have no choice but to keep this only cooked wine, or they have to remember to remove it and put it somewhere that she's not going to clean, which is hard. I mean, so okay, so that I'm just explaining like practical reasons. So it says so this wine is sometimes forbidden for a benefit. So if he touched, so you cannot benefit, meaning not only that you cannot drink it, but you cannot even sell it to somebody.
Okay.
And generally it's forbidden for drinking. Okay, drinking is forbidden, but benefit it's different opinions. Okay, a Rav should be consulted to determine the exact status. So basically, before you talk to Rav, so the way I'm trying to conduct my life, don't put yourself in a questionable situation. Just think a little ahead. You understand? So if you're not planning to invite many guests and you want to spend Shabbat with you and your wife, so there is no reason why you should not get this not cooked wine. You understand? But if your friends are going to come and these people are going to come and you're not sure, so don't play with fire, basically. So and then it's a very expensive bottle of wine, and then you don't know what to do with that. Okay, so don't put in yourself in the situation when you have to choose. Okay. Continue. It is obviously therefore may not be used for kiddush. So if this non-Jew touched it, right? So for sure you cannot use it for kiddush. Okay. Of course, if you cannot drink and you cannot derive benefit. Okay. For example, if non-Jew was left alone in a house, for example, housekeeper, painter, babysitter, etc., any wine which was accessible to him, for example, in a refrigerator, cabinet, etc., is prohibited unless it was properly sealed. So if you put some I don't know, tape, right, and you put your signature on the tape, right, for example, that's the way I understand properly sealed. I mean, if it was open, if it was sealed, there is no problem. Maybe we're saying if it was if you remove the cork, or like it was open, and then you put the cork back, or this cup back, well, whatever.
The one that you study with, I mean, if he left the bottle of wine in the fridge,
yes,
alone with the housekeeper, but it has a cork in it,
yes,
so it's okay to leave it alone.
No,
right?
no. She can take it out and then put it back. Drink a little wine. So I mean,
he can't leave it alone with her, right?
He cannot. Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, it's too much things. Like as I said, like and I advise you just to adopt this approach. Just think a little ahead, and Bezrat HaShem, ask your wife. So women, they're very good in these tiny details. They see this picture and predict better than men.
Right.
That's for sure. I know from my wife's experience. Like many things, I even don't think. I just ask her, and she gives me the complete picture of what's going on. Perfect. I would say like, whoa, I would never think. But that's the how women think and how men think. There is no big surprise. Okay. So we said, but if for example this lady was offered to eat, as we said, so there is one story. But if he has this very expensive wine, so if it's only cork, there is no problem for him to remove cork and drink and then put it back, right? Or sometimes it's only like a tap, like a lid, right? So there is no, it's there's no actually even cork, so it's even easier. So in this case, if you put a piece of tape and then you sign on the tape, so for sure it's going to stop the guy, right? So okay, so if you want to do this, no problem. But otherwise, it's questionable if you can do a kiddush on such a wine. With regard to what is considered a proper seal, and as to the type of the number of the seals, so most people say 2, but maybe 1 is enough. Okay, seal necessary one should consult Rav. Okay. However, an unopened bottle of wine is generally sealed in a manner to preclude any problem. So basically, in all of the wines, if you see, especially Jewish wine, there are always two seals. One is the seal, whether it's cork and on top this plastic, right? Or if it's for example, differently without cork, so it has this like metal cup and still this plastic. So it always double sealed. And you understand? It's a kosher requirement. Okay. So number 2, wine that was cooked is excluded from prohibition of stam yanom. So basically, like quick summary. So these non-Jews used to use these wines as a libation for avodah zarah, for idol worship, and we were afraid that this wine was used for idol worship. You understand? So, or maybe he used it for idol worship and then brought it back. So today is for us in our day and age, it's a little far-fetched, right? But still, since it's a halacha, it was accepted by our sages. That's what we follow. All right, even though like no, I mean, I don't want to see I don't want to say nobody, but maybe some of them still use libation, but we try to be careful. But cooked wine it's a disrespect for their idols. That's what all of the avodah zarah. They also have their rules and regulations. So basically, for them, this cooked wine is not good.
Yeah, Catholics have something with the wine that they think.
Yes. But they do some rituals, but to say that they put on the altar or for libation for their idols, I'm not sure. Maybe yes, maybe I don't want to.
They drink it or something.
Okay, so drinking is not that. Okay, but still.
So only if it's like an offering, right? Like if they're offering
exactly.
wine, so
Yes. So the thing is, one more halacha is we're not allowed to derive any benefit whatsoever from what was offered to avodah zarah, idol worship. Whatever was offered, zero benefit. So and since it is biblical, right? So it's a biblical law. So in case of the doubt and it's a biblical law, we always go with the stringency. But if something, for example, it's a rabbinic law, so and there is a doubt, so we are allowed to go by leniency, and we're going to use this rule going forward. Okay. So number 2. So one more time this first sentence. Wine that was cooked is excluded from the prohibition of stam yanam. Basically, if she drinks this clean lady or this non-Jewish friend or these people who not Shomer Shabbos, they drink from this wine and they pour it into your cup, there is no problem whatsoever. Okay. According to Hagon Rav Moshe Feinstein, Zatzal, heating the wine to the temperature of 175 degrees Fahrenheit is sufficient to render the cooked wine for this purpose. So basically, so I would say, do not buy some questionable kashrus, right? So basically, most of the wines are OU. Most of the wines OU. So and they go by Moshe Feinstein. Others, like I don't know, people try to all of the leniency, all of the okay. Don't go by something questionable. Okay. So part number 7, and subject kos pagum flawed wine. Okay. So what does it mean? We're going to learn. Number 1, if one drank even small amount of wine directly from a cup, pitcher, or bottle, the leftover wine in that container is called pogum, flawed. So meaning that something is wrong. I mean, it's clean wine, but okay. And may not be used for Ketuch. Very interesting, right? So he drank from that cup. So now this wine left over in his cup cannot be used for Ketuch. Some authorities rule that even if one tasted the wine directly from the barrel, it is its entire contents becomes pogum. Not everybody agree, and we're going to see there is no, it's actually here how to fix pogum. Continue. One who sipped wine through the straw renders the remainder wine pogum. So basically, it does not matter how you connect it to wine, right? You connect it by touching the glass. So the problem is not with the cup itself. The problem is with the wine. So it doesn't matter you drank it from a cup or you drank it from the straw. It doesn't make any difference, but because through this stream of wine, it was connected from your mouth to the rest of the wine. So the rest of the wine is pogum. Number 3, if one removed the wine from the cup by any method other by drinking, that is by dipping in his finger or pouring some onto his hand and to taste, it does not become pogum. So basically, what he is saying, So if there was no like physical connection between your mouth and the wine, so it does not become Pogo. So you pour a little to your hand to taste it. There is no problem. Okay. Number 8, rectifying. A kos pago. Kos means cup. Kos pago. Pogo float. Float wine can be restored to the original perfect state and subsequently used for Kiddush. Okay, so many things are fixable. The preferable method for doing so is to follow 2 steps procedure. First, to add some liquid, for example, wine, water, etc. That is not Pogo to the cup. For example, from bottles, just add some wine, right, to the cup, and then pour the entire contents back to the bottle, into the bottle. So you pour. So first step, you pour some from the bottle into that cup, right, and then you pour the mixture back to the bottle. However, if only one of these steps was taken, for example, he just add from the bottle, the wine is after the fact is no longer considered Pogo and may be used for Kiddush. So let's try to understand how like what are we talking about here, right? So we're talking about here when 2 people wants to make Kiddush on the same cup of wine. For example, one Ashkenazic tradition is that the most prevalent Ashkenazic tradition that every household head of household make his own Kiddush. For example, you and your wife have guests, another couple, right? So you do your own Kiddush, and before you do your own Kiddush, you usually ask that person, that guy, if he wants to do his own Kiddush. So if he says, no, I want to be included in your Kiddush, there is no problem whatsoever. So when you do your Kiddush, you just include him in your mind. You say to yourself, I'm including my wife, and I'm including his wife, of course, and all of the guests, and I'm including him. But if you
is just to ask if you want to do your
yes, he can say I want to be included, and he can say I don't want to be included. For example, Sephardi custom, they go by the Kiddush of balabais, meaning the head of the family, the head of the household, right? So if everybody come, like 5 families come to one house, so this head of the family does the Kiddush, even though he's 23 years old, and he does Kiddush for all of the older uncles and parents and others. There is no problem, but most of the time people do. I mean, if a wife wants to hear Kiddush from his own, from her husband. It's like you're doing for her only. It's not some other guy. You're doing for your wife, which is very respectful. And okay, so basically, if you want, if he wants to make Kiddush after you, right, and he wants to use your cup, so there are a few options, right? So if you have enough wine, you have a lot of wine, let's say a lot, so you can just drink whatever is left in your cup, and clean it and give it to him. There is no problem. But if you have only little wine left, right? And you have this, let's say 4.4 ounces, or whatever we said, right? And now there is only exactly 4.4 ounces left, right? So you drank your minimum, whatever minimum is. We're going to discuss the minimum, and you want to give him this cup. So basically, that's the one left. If you use the leftover the wine from the bottle, it's not going to be enough, right? Make sense? So basically, this wine, whatever I have in my cup, is Pogo, and it must be fixed for him to do a Kiddush. Otherwise, it's right. So I can pour from the bottle into my cup, and then pour back into the bottle. And now he can use this wine, my wine, whatever left from my kiddush, and wine from extra wine from the bottle. That's the situation. Otherwise, there is no problem whatsoever. Okay, I did the kiddush, right? For example, my wife drank from this cup. If she allowed to drink from this cup, for example, right? Let's say she is allowed, or I just pour out for her. There is no problem before doing kiddush. After doing kiddush, but before drinking. Okay, let's. We have 10 minutes left, so let's continue. Number 10, chapter number 10, drinking the wine. So part number 1, the mlolog maf. So the mlolog maf is like a chickful, right? Whatever, like chickful. So number 1, after kiddush has been recited, minimum amount of wine must be consumed in order for kiddush to be valid. So just to say kiddush and not to drink is not going to work, right? At least somebody have to drink. We're going to see. This amount is mlolog maf, a chickful. So two things that we have to know. First is the minimum amount of the cup, right? We said revi, and now how much minimum amount he must drink from this revi. As we're going to see, it's not he does not need to finish the whole revi. He does not need, right? Chickful, which is for average person amount as little more than half of revis. So it's like 2 ounces, let's say, plus minus. Okay, so it's not a lot. This amount was designated because it is a minimum amount which will provide the drinker with a feeling of satisfaction. So our sages say, so a little sip of wine is not going to bring him any satisfaction. So for average person, of course, we know that some are very people, some are very petite, and some is a guy like, I don't know, 350 pounds, right? It's a huge, I don't know, 8 feet, 20 feet, like Moshe Rabbeinu. Okay, but the sages had to find something like a middle ground, and they say middle ground is a half of revis. Okay. So this half of the revis, it would be like satiated somewhat for most of the people. Okay. So number 2, since mlolog means his chickful, the actual amount is dependent on the cheek size of the drinker. Thus, a large person is required to swallow a greater portion of revi than a small person. However, the minimum amount required to be consumed for anybody, maximum amount is revis. So maybe he's a huge guy, as I said, 20 feet, right? But he still no more. He's not required to drink more than revis, meaning 4 ounces. Okay. A child who is already, yeah, go ahead. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
A little staticky.
Yeah. Okay. A child who is already bar of bas mitzvah is permitted to drink a smaller measure, which correspond to his or her chickful, since that would be mlolog maf for him. However, some authorities rule that everybody must drink at least major part of revi'is, regardless of the size. It is preferable to follow this view. So basically, what I do, I'm trying to drink most of the revi'is. So that I'm going by this opinion. So I mean, as we said, there are a few opinions, but that's it will be corresponding to all of the opinions if you drink like greater part of the revi'is. Okay. But as we said, if you measure this revi'is and you see how much is it, and you don't drink like strong wine, it's like it's nothing. Okay, but for boys and girls, so of course they are not as strong and they cannot handle so much wine, right? So maybe they should drink grape juice instead. Okay, So continue. Minor boys under 13, girls under 12, however, need only drink as much as their little cheek can hold. Okay, so for example, she wants to do his own. He wants to do his own kiddush for whatever reason, right? So he can do his own kiddush and drink from that wine. There is no problem. According to the Hagon Rav Moshe Feinstein Zatzal, the required release on Friday night kiddush is 4.4 fluid ounces. In which case the mlolugmaf of average size person is slightly larger than 2.21. So we're going by average person. Of course, if a person, I mean, for this 350 pound guy, it's like this nothing. He's not going to feel this little sip, right? For him, it's a little sip, right? So of course he can drink more. There is no problem. But we go by the minimum. Okay. For Shabbos morning, requirements, see chapter 17. Okay, we're going to get to it. So, but as I said, we can in Shabbos morning, since it's rabbinical, we can go by more lenient view. Yeah, I mean, if it's necessary, the proper way to do it, the bigger part of Revi all the time. But if he does not have wine or he does not feel good, whatever, so he can rely on lenient opinion. According to certain other authorities, the Revi is always equivalent to 2 fluid ounces, and the mlolugmaf would be 1.6 ounces. Another opinion consider is large and 5.3. So basically, in many things, that's my own preference. So so we will go by 5.3. It's Chazanish said. Okay, but it's not necessary. Like people can go by 4.4. It's also fine. 5.3 fluid ounces, and which is mlolugmaf is 2.7 fluid ounces. So if you compare, the way I see it, if you compare the difference between all of this mlolugmaf, it's such a tiny difference. Unless person cannot drink, so it's not a big deal. Right? So just go by stricter opinion, and for sure you're going to win. Okay, number 3, the mlolugmaf should be consumed while seated, even by the one who customary stands for kiddush, because it is not proper etiquette to drink while standing. So it's very interesting, as we said last time. So there are different customs how to say kiddush. So some say while standing, some say start while standing, then sit. So, but according to all of the opinions, that doesn't matter how you start, you finish by drinking when you sit. You sit and then you drink. That's how people eat. Otherwise, it's disrespectful, right? When you're late for work and you're trying to grab something like and you're chewing and you still putting on your shoes and stuff like that, it's not proper. It's a disrespect. So maybe on a Monday and Tuesday it is acceptable because you have no choice, but not on Shabbos. On Shabbos, at least we do everything the best way possible, meaning sit. Number 4, it is preferable that the mlolugmaf is consumed with no unnecessary pause. So just drink, right? So do the mitzvah. You said the bracha, do the mitzvah, and at least this mlolugmaf. The kiddush is valid, however, as long as the mlolugmaf is consumed in a period kidas achilas pras. Right, the time that it takes to eat loaf of bread. There are various opinions we're going to explain of how long it actually is. The range is from 2 minutes and to as much as 9 minutes, preferably within the shorter period. If there is a longer pause, one must repeat the entire kiddush. So basically, the proper way to finish this mlolugmaf in one shot, right? If you cannot do like in 2 sips, right, at least. So, but if he cannot, for whatever reason, so he can finish in 2 minutes. So that's prefer opinion. If not, from 3 to 9 minutes, whatever. But okay, that's if he did it up to 9 minutes, he still fulfilled the obligation of kiddush. If there is a longer pause, one must repeat the entire kiddush because it's too much. He did not drink enough. Okay, we're almost done. the cup for which from which mlologmaf is consumed should contain reviews of wine. One more time, the cup from which the mlologmaf is consumed should contain review of wine, as we said before, right? When we said the requirement for the cup. So we can stop here.